Yo, what's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists, and welcome to this, yet another episode of On The Bench with Pete, because I'm trying to get these Congo guys done, so they'll be coming more frequently, possibly until I get them done, just to help me out. So, if you're new to this series, it's the Paint Along or Build Along series, where you pop it on in the background, and build along or paint along with me, and we just chew the fat, and yeah, so grab yourself some brushes, models, glues, drink, whatever you need, and let's get to it. Here we are. I've got the other sides of these shields to do, so I will start with those. Seems like a good idea to me. So yeah, last time I did my resin boat as well, if you remember. And I was doing a bit of that. So I'm going to finish off priming these shields. Let's put a bit of on there. I see a couple of places from last time. I think I've gotten pretty much alright with it now. Okay, right, so the shields are going to go to one side. And, I'll get them done as soon as, because I want to put them on, I want to glue them onto the hands of my tribe as soon as they're painted, really. Otherwise I'll end up losing them or something silly like that. I've just been out up to the shop. It's not a bad day weather-wise. I think my mum was correct when she said we might be having a couple more days of sun yet. It's not a bad day. Obviously it's not as hot as it was back in the summer, but not bad at all. I mean, by rights I should be cutting the grass, like, for at least one more cut this year, but you know what it's like. And then a Christmas present that I'd ordered for someone arrived today, which was good, in the post. So loving that, the organisation. I think when I get mobile again, like I some transport, I'll head out and get some Christmas wrapping paper. Although before that I need birthday wrapping paper. Yeah. So I'm going to get that as well. Right, believe that's me done for the priming. Right. Yes, dryer bark, that was the one I was going to use for their base colours, and I think I'm going to use wet palette for this. Just clean up this bit there. Homemade wet palette. So could use Rhinox hide. I choose to use dryad bark, really. So Rhinox hide. Looking at them, there's really not a lot in it. Not really, but I'm going to go with dryad bark anyways. Figure out what brush I'm going to use. Probably that one. great thing, of course, about the wet palette is it thins it down for me as well. You really don't need to add any liquid to this. It looks like I might have to get some more dryad bark at some point. Right, so let's keep my wet palette there. Now, who to start with? Do I have a better brush than that slightly larger one? Yeah, I've got a new base coat brush here that I could use. So why don't I use that? Right. Then again, I've got other brushes I could use. Nice. It looks quite good. Because I'm putting the first layer on, I don't know if I need to. No, I'm going to go with my new base coat brush. Starting with the chieftain. The difficulty with someone like this guy is doing the wood stock of the gun. Because I'm doing all the skin brown to match the tribal skin tone of the artwork, but it's the same paints I use for doing wood as well, so I may have to revise that somewhat, but that's okay. Squeaky chair today. This is the chappy I used to try and do an epoxy cast of. I say try because it didn't quite work out, although I think I'm getting better with the technique. I think for me it might be better to do spare parts to mould instead of actual whole figures, although I may be able to pull it off come the end. So I've been up the shop, I got some gas and electric, posted 2 letters, and I drew out some money that I might need for in a week. Right, okay, happy with that. Now for the witch doctor. It's kind of cool, he's got a really cool looking mask on, which I shall have fun painting. It's a very cool looking model altogether, this witch doctor dude. Yeah. Witch doctors are cool, they can do all sorts of stuff. Like magic and things and different rituals. It's a very atmospheric thing for the game of Congo, you know. Yeah, they can give you lots of advantages, just put it that way. Okay, so that's the witch doctor done. Now on to scouts. Apologies if you can hear music in the background, that's my noisy neighbours. Just the way they are. And they play some rubbish music. Oh dear. One of those awkward poses that, though not difficult to get to, seems difficult to cover. That's okay. I don't mind some of the black showing through underneath because once the washes go on, I'll be doing pretty much the same job anyways. Yeah, I think I'm going to base everything for Congo on 2p pieces from now on. It's more solid and it's cheaper. It's just cheaper. Do I go with an Agrax shade or a sepia wash or some other stuff? Or a different make even? Go with a Vallejo wash, I don't know. Don't know. A little bit out of shot there. If I tilt the camera down slightly, you might get it better. Angle. I've been watching, I forget his name, some YouTuber, but doing their role-playing Dungeons and Dragons online, you know, like as a hangout kind of thing. Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. Love the way that's done. Reminds me more of like the old school D&D, because you know you got to use your imagination and stuff. Oh, it's just brilliant. Guys are really getting into it, and yeah, I'm loving it. I'm going to probably promote it at some point. I mean, it's quite a big channel anyway, but why not? For giggles, eh? That's the other scout. Now, Bunduki. I don't know how you pronounce it. Bunduki. They're not like Ascari, they're like, the Ascari seem to be more like mercenary types. These seem a bit more superstitious fellows. Doing this much skin for the whole faction is kind of akin to painting horses, really, I think. So I'd use probably similar colours. One, we'll do the guy that's crouched down next. Yeah, I have to order some more dryad bark. Not bad at all. So there we go. So I did have a question that I wanted to ask people in general. Yes. I've got a question which I'm hoping some of you might be able to answer. Does anybody out there know of like a miniature war game, like you know, using it, or a miniatures game, or role playing game even, that I can use Sherlock Holmes miniatures in and figures of that ilk? Because there's some really brilliant Sherlock Holmes miniatures I've seen. I don't know any games that I could play them in. I mean, they're so good, I want to just get them anyway, but it'd be nice if there was a game I could paint them up for, or some set of rules or something. That would be nice. So, yeah. I think role-playing game would probably be more likely and better, I expect. You know, solving murders and things across London. Or committing them, you know, might be able to be the bad guy, you know. Sherlock Holmes is trying to track you, you know, who knows? Last bone lucky. He got this gun here. A bit of detritus. Actually, I think it's a bit of primer, but it's alright. Not a problem. So yeah, I'm doing these on the benches a bit more frequently at the moment, just to try and get these guys done. Yes, it would be nice to have like two factions ready. Then I can sort of do other ones at my leisure. Get like the Zanzibarians and the African tribes separately. Right, so onto the warriors now. Yes, and on the bench is perfect for this type of painting. This the batch painting, it's perfect for. Although I'm not, you know, I get tired of batch painting, but it is good for that. No doubt about it. Especially when you're doing like laborious stuff like that. So 4 more warriors. I'm glad I decided to base on 20p pieces. For one thing, it means I don't have to order them in. I've always got a supply of 20p pieces, 2p pieces. What am I talking about? Hey, I'm living the high life. I'm basing my miniatures on 20p pieces. Which is kind of weird because they're hexagonal anyway. I suppose if you wanted round bases, pennies would be good for 6mm, but they usually seem to be on square bases from what I've seen. I think he's done. Do I want the palette there? I want it there. I think it's better there. Forest tribes. It'll be so nice to have these boys done. I'm going to get all the factions, and then I'm going to get the expansions there. We call them reinforcements. A reinforcement pack. You can get a reinforcement pack for each of the factions. So I'll be looking at those. Probably be ideal for me. God, would you Adam and Eve it? We're nearly at half an hour already. Wow. Once I've got 2 factions, I can play. Oh, you need to be gluing that one. I can play games here and practice stuff. Try out ideas for scenarios, that kind of thing. I've got some ideas in mind. He's going to be gluing his spear. But that one's not too bad. Shall we to top up the dryad bark seam? Awesome, going really well here. My kind of painting. You see, on the early stages, such as this, when you're doing on the bench, you're doing like a. Hang on a minute. Excuse me. Yeah. Like a. Oh, a faction. That's what I was going to say. It seems as if you're progressing a lot faster. But then later on, when you say you come to do the loincloths, that's just, well, take that, just that. That seems to take you ages. And they don't look much different. Whereas at the moment, they look vastly different. Oops. Didn't mean to burst through the greaseproof paper there like I did. Yeah. First order of the day after I leave here. Order dry and bark. It's true I could make do with Rhinox high, but I don't want to. I want to glue this thing down. There, that should keep his spear in check. And on to the pygmies now. Yay! Little blighters, these things, with their bonding ability, gets me every time. I love playing with them on my side though. The rules, I think, the rules for Congo are perfectly balanced. Well, as perfect as you can get, I think, in a game like miniature war game. It's about as balanced as I've ever seen, a rule set. Okay. Just trying to think what the last game I played of Congo was. I think it was the Baobab berries at Ralph's. It was a very enjoyable game. So I wouldn't mind trying that out here. See if it would have been beneficial for me to eat the berries. So I don't think so, but I would try it. So that's 1, 2, that's three pygmy archers. This will be number 4. At least once the skin's done, they'll look, you know, fairly decent, he says. I think once the skin is done, I could baste them really. I put my basing material on them. I'll go for the lighter one, I believe. So he's a forest tribe, so I'm wondering even if to put some leaves down onto the bases. Maybe. Another game I want to get back into the running is Ronin, because I haven't done that in like ages. Right, you see I've got figures for that I want to paint up. And last but not least are my young warriors. Five of those altogether, and this is the first one. I think I need a little more dryad bark though. Kind of drying up, well not drying up, it's getting used up. That's what it's doing. Sorry, I keep going out of shot. After all these years, I've still not got the hang of it. I seem to concentrate more on the mini than what the camera is showing. Good job it's not a tutorial. I think I did a tutorial on one of my soldiers ages ago, so probably not much point doing one on these guys. So, 3 left. No, I haven't. I've got my archers to do as well, so I've got 9 miniatures left. Will it stretch? He hopes so. Right. Back on it. Maybe if I lift the camera up slightly. I think the music stopped anyway, which is good. So many things I want to do. I've got my eye on The Walking Dead as a game. Now, as you all know, I love Zombicide. I love it. So I'm guessing I may like Walking Dead. May do. May need to research it a bit more first though. Another game I had my eye on was Mansions of Madness. Lots of miniatures. Not sure if I could be doing with that amount of setup time there. Whereas Walking Dead played on a small map, small playing area. Well, you know, you don't need a large area. It's from what I've seen of it. Play it on a small tabletop surface. So that would suit me better. Okay. The last young warrior. I do have a grey-black primer. You know, the only reason I would prime these guys black is because it's what I have the most of. and I think it might seem to be okay with a darker tone. I mean, if I had it, I'd go with a brown primer, but I just don't have it. Right, archers. I love the combat system in Congo with the different dice representing different weapons. It's rather reminiscent of D&D almost. It's along that vein, along that line anyway, but you know. Word. So I think it's like 5 plus, I think, is successes in anything you do. So then obviously depending on what type of dice you're using, the more greater chance of success you have. The miniatures look quite good in Walking Dead, I'll give them that. It's a game, I mean, my family and I love the whole zombie apocalypse theme in games, so it would be right up our alley, you know. So we love Zombicide. The only thing, the only drawback I find with Zombicide is the setting up and packing away of it. It just takes so long. But the game itself is fantastic. I love it. You can't fault it. And you can play it solo with ease, you know. I don't know how Walking Dead fares with solo play. Or if it even, yeah, I think there may be a way of doing it. But yeah, going back to my question, the whole Sherlock Holmes thing. If anybody knows of a game about Sherlock Holmes with miniatures, let me know, because I want to get these Sherlock Holmes miniatures. I think it's Warlord that do them actually. finally. The last one. Trying to get all that paint into the brush. Using it up quick, that's the thing. $50 minutes already. Wow. So this is what I mean. This is why I need to do on the benches more regularly at the moment to get these guys done. Et voila! So pop that back there. And that's all the Congo Forest Tribe faction base coated with dryad bark for the skin. Pretty awesome. Right, so there you go. So I'm not even going to switch to an outro, I'm just going to do it here. So thanks very much for joining me on this episode of On the Bench. It's been a blast. Got that dryad bark down. Yeah. And once that dries, I'll probably do me shade wash. Agracto shade, Seraphim Sepia. Who knows? But yeah. Thanks for joining me. Remember, I'll brush this lead to all, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.